Why is it that sometimes you can get a pull from your jelly plate that looks like that, and other times you get one that is just a hot mess? Well, today's top tip is I'm going to show you how that happens. So why not continue to watch and I'll tell you all about it. Well, today's top tip is about the order that you put your paint down, and not only that, it's whether or not the paint that you're using are semi transparent or opaque. So these two are semi-transparent and this one is opaque. If you haven't seen my video that talks about this in greater detail, I will leave a link for you. So what I'm going to do now is to put the different colours down as the base layer. So I'm going to start off with the semi-transparent, which is the quinacridone magenta. You don't need an awful lot, but you probably need a little bit more than that. I think if you're like me, you're either don't put enough on or you're extremely heavy-handed. So all I'm going to do now is to get a thin layer because I just want it as a base. I'm going to roll it off onto my little sheet there. This is A4 paper, and I'm just going to get an impression of that base layer. Okay, let's just wipe this away. I don't usually wipe my jelly plates, but I don't want to contaminate the colour there. So let's just get that. Off. This one again is a semi-transparent, and I shall get a base layer of this too. This is a good example too of what will happen when you put the yellow over the top of the pinky magenta. You get this sort of hot orange colour happening. So using your roll-off paper as an indication as to what the layer are going to look like is a really good indication for you. So there we go with the nice bright yellow, and I'm going to wipe this off again, get rid of the yellow, and next I'm going to put on the just wipe this off a little bit. Next I'm going to put on the blue, which is opaque. So this is Liquitex light blue permanent. Roll this off. Let's see what happens when I put that on there. So now the colours, you can't really see them too well, and I shall get another piece of paper here. Go. This is just ordinary copy paper. So there we have the three colours that we're going to use: the yellowy colour, magenta, and the turquoise. So let's just wipe that off, let it dry, and then we'll continue on with the project. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the semi-transparent colour. I'm going to use the yellow on this one and this one, and I'll use the quinacridone on the yellow. So I'm going to use a semi-transparent colour now, and I'm going to apply it to the plate. I'm going to try and do the same thing on each of the layers. I'm going to use this dotty oval stencil, and let's go over this one, which is semi-transparent. Trying to get into all the little holes that have been punched into the stencil. I got this set of stencils from eBay in the UK. I will put the details in the description, and I think they're rather good quality. So here we have the semi-transparent, and as you can see now, we've gone from this looking a very sort of bright yellow to going to a kind of a hot orange colour. So let's put that to one side. I'm just going to use a spare piece of paper to get the ghost print off this, because A, I don't want to waste it, and B, I don't want that pattern on my examples for you. I want to try and use the same method on each one. Oh, that's rather good, isn't it? Note to self, use those two colours together. Okay, and I'm just going to wipe this off. Something I don't usually do, but in this case I think it's quite important that we use the same methodology all the way through. Get some paper. Wipe this off, turn that round. It's a case of do what I say, don't do what I do with regards putting down your brayer. So this one again is semi-transparent. I'm going to roll this out. Do apologise. We're just having some new fibres put down for our internet, and we just keep on getting messages to say that the work's finished. So if it goes again, I do apologise. So semi-transparent on top of semi-transparent. Okay, so that looks a really vibrant colour, and you know, if you look at this now, we've used exactly the same colours. We've used the quinacridone magenta and the what this is azo yellow light. So exactly the same colours, exactly the same stencil. And look at the colour shift here. We've got kind of a magenta, hot pink with an orange, and here this is yellow, and it just looks a very sort of dark, reddy orange. So that is interesting. Again, I'll just get rid of this. I'll put it on this one here, just to not waste paint. So I've used the two transparent, semi-transparent, sorry, paints there, and that's the ghost print. So we've got two ghost prints happening there. Hope you're keeping up with all this. It looks a little bit chaotic, but it might just be the way I'm demonstrating it for you. But I'm sure you're getting the idea. Just wipe this off. So now I'm going to go with the Liquitex. This is the light blue and it's the opaque. We can see exactly what's happening here as soon as I sort of roll this off. I've done way too much paint on there, but never mind, it can be rolled off. And I'm going to go with this pattern, and we'll come back to the turquoise one in a minute or two. Let's just pop that on there like that and go over the top of here. So that is kind of obliterating just about everything. You can't really see what's going on underneath, and it sort of just muddies everything as far as I'm concerned. Let's put it on top of this. I like the selection of colours. That one doesn't look too bad, but it's still a little bit too confusing for me. Let's wipe this off. And I'll put again the blue, light blue permanent on top of this. This is opaque. You know what's going to happen, don't you? When I've done all this, it's not going to turn out a hot mess. It's just going to disprove everything that I've just been saying. But that's experimentation for you. Pop that on there. That on top. I think that's a good example here to see that putting the opaque on top of these nice spots of, well, it is magenta and yellow, it's just dulling everything down. It really is just dulling everything down. Let's take this off and I'll put it onto this one here. So that's exactly what I'm talking about. Can you see? It's just taken all the vibrancy from that pull that we've just done, and it's just dulled it all down. It's gone into this kind of muddy, hot mess. So let's try if we now just get rid of that. wipe it down. Let's go for the yellow. Let's go for this yellow first and put the little spots on like I did before. So these are semi-transparent going over the top of the opaque. I was going to say it doesn't really matter what colours you use, but it does, because you can see yourself that when you lay one on top of the other, the shift in colour is quite dramatic. So you know, here we're going from a very vibrant lemon yellow to a green. So if I find my spotty stencil, stick that on there, and let's put that there like that, trying to push through into the holes. Turn that over. So that's really quite vibrant again. So this is the turquoisey colour, and this is the yellow, the azo yellow light, which is now turned into a kind of a lime green, which is really quite nice. Take this off, and I'm going to I think I'll just put it on here. It's a spare sheet of paper that I'm using. Wipe this off. I normally wouldn't do this wiping off in between the different poles, but I'm just trying to do a demonstration and make a point about how things are important, how important thing it is to actually put your layers down in the right order, or more specifically putting opaque and semi-opaque layers together, and what happens when you don't really put them down in the right order. So here we're going into a nice purple here, so I'm going to use this open kind of Moroccan feeling stencil. Pushing through once again. And now you can see that you're getting a completely different look to your pull than you had when this Liquitex opaque light blue permanent was put on as the last impression using your gel plate, and this is just dulled everything down, whereas by putting it down first and then putting semi-transparent on top, you're getting a much more vibrant pull with your stencils. I'll just put this on here as the ghost print. Not much there, nothing to speak of. I'll just wipe this off and I'll clear away all the clutter and then come back to you and we can do a final appraisal of what I have just been demonstrating. Okay, so let's do a review. We've used the same colours: quinacridone magenta, which is semi-transparent, This is Azo Yellow Light, which is semi-transparent, and this one is the Liquitex Light Blue Permanent, which is opaque. So we've used the same 3 colours. I've used the same 2 stencils as well, so we're keeping everything constant. Firstly, as you remember, I just put a base colour down, plain base colour of each of these colours. So let's just have a look at what's happened. So this one here is the semi-transparent yellow that we put down, then the circular stencil with the magenta, and then on top we've put the opaque light blue. And as you can see here, it dulls everything down. These are kind of really singing the 2 semi-transparent colours, but once you apply the opaque on top, it just takes all that vibrancy and colour away. It may look different on camera, but you know, when you look up close, it really dulls it down. So the same thing is happening here. We put the magenta first, then the Azo Yellow Light, which the yellow light turned into kind of a hot orange, whereas here it's an actual, well, a very sort of dark orangey red. And putting the transparent, the opaque layer on top has really dulled everything down. So you can see there what's happened. This one is absolutely awful, and as you can see that the I think this was the ghost print on top, but it's just not really good at all. That this was a green colour that I put underneath, and I put the magenta on top of that. I think I used this as the ghost print, and then again with the blue on top, it's just completely muddied everything. And here we have the last one that I did, where I applied the opaque first and then the little circles in the yellow, which is the semi-transparent, and lastly I put the semi-transparent quinacridone magenta on top, and that really looks, you know, it actually looks to me more vibrant. You can see the colours sort of underneath, but the thing to sort of look at is, you know, I've used all the same colours. I've used the same 2 stencils, and even this one here, which was just like a part of the roll-off, you get a completely different feeling in every pull. So it's very dependent on what colours you put over the top of each layer, and by moving them around, even though I've used the same sequence of small round stencil with something that has got a larger hole to peep through, if you like, at what's going on underneath, you can see you get completely different pulls with completely different feelings to them. So the idea with this video is to try and show you how, by putting the right colours together, it will avoid this horrible muddy, unattractive, hot mess. This is various different colours all put together, and then the blue on top.